Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 124 of Build Your Stash and Craft. This week we are going to make journal marks, journal bookmarks, regular bookmarks, plant sticks. Just play with the craft sticks that you can get at the Dollar Tree. These are a little bit bigger than popsicle sticks, but if you have popsicle sticks, you can just use those. Then you don't even have to spend the $1. But I just wanted to kind of show you how, like, so many of the different products that we have, the different ways that they react to the popsicle sticks. Now these are the wax colors that we made, the liquid wax colors that we made, and they soak in really nicely. And so I'll just take this one and you just put it on there. And you can let it soak in for a little bit, and then when you think it's about as dark as you want it to be, then you just wipe it off. But the nice thing is, I don't know if you can see how it's kind of starting to bring, this is the grain of the wood right here. That's not, you know, a darker piece of, a darker color or anything. That is just the way that when the wax soaks in, it kind of brings out the grain of the popsicle stick. And some of them have a lot more grain than others do. So, you know, if you really see one that you like the grain of, and you want to bring that grain out, then use the wax, and the wax really brings out the grain really nicely. And I probably should have picked one with a little bit more grain in it to show you that. But, so there is just one way to color them that is super easy. I love this way because it just soaks right in. And it's just a beautifully light color. So it gives you just a nice background, but nothing that's totally in your face. So I don't know if you can see the grain on there, but it really, the wax really makes it look nice. See how the grain's going like that there? I really like the wax for them. And then if you didn't make the liquid wax and you don't have those, just plain old watercolor markers, just kids' washable markers. They also work really nice. And what I do is I go with the length of the popsicle stick so that if it doesn't all blend in, it just kind of looks like grain. But my marker's really getting dry. Just put it on there, and you don't want to leave it for too long. And then just take a wet brush and just kind of scrub it in. And that just gives you a really nice, when you use your brown watercolor markers, that gives you kind of a nice tea-dyed look. Ooh, I never thought of that. You could stick them in a cup of tea or coffee. Or, well, not a cup, you'd need something deep enough, but you could float them in a pan of tea or coffee and get tea dyed that way. And I didn't like how dark that was. I wanted it a little bit darker because I just don't have much ink left in my marker. So I'm just going to add a little bit more until I get my desired look. And this one did not have a lot of grain on it, but by scribbling this way, it really makes it look like it has even more grain than what it really does. So your watercolor markers and just plain old water, that works really great too. And then, of course, our inks. We can use our inks to color them. And I'm going to get ink all over me because I used the same sponge for 3 colors, and I'm going to make a mess of myself, but just color it with your inks, and that works really well. And then you can decorate them up any way that you would like to. We'll decorate maybe a couple, but you know, the decorating part is not something that I am the best at, but this gives you a good idea of how to get your bases and the different looks you can get from the different products that you have. Now, the ink does not soak in as much, so you want to make sure you go around your sides so that they're not plain colored. The wax and then all of the water with the watercolors, so those went down around the edges, but the ink, because it's more dry, you actually have to do your edges. So we've got ink and we've got wax, liquid wax, watercolor markers, our wax pastes. They work well too. And didn't bring my stir sticks out here. You want to mix these up because they separate just a little bit when they sit. And so I am going to just close this back up again because I think I have enough on my stir stick here to go ahead and pull this off. And then just color it with the wax colors. And you can use different colors and kind of blend them together a little bit. But I love the wax colors. And I really love the way that they smell because of the product that we use to make them. They have a really nice smell to them. They smell real pretty. But they color it very nicely also. And then you can let that set for a little bit and buff it off. Gonna make sure that I got the edges. Nothing like getting it all done and then looking and seeing raw edges, so don't forget that part. And then you can just buff that off with a paper towel or something, napkin. And you want to buff it before you decorate it because it is a wax. So you want to buff it off so that whatever you're going to glue to it will stick. Just move your napkin over and get a drier spot. Go around the edges. And so that is what our wax colors look like, our wax paste colors. So we have the wax paste colors, the liquid wax, we have ink pads, we have watercolor markers. You can use the metallic markers that we got quite a long time ago. And with the metallic markers, they don't show up as metallic as they do on other things because they soak in a lot. But if you put a second coat, you'll get a little bit more of a shine. So you can use your metallic colors. And I think that's about all of them. Now you can also make like plant sticks. And when you're going to do a plant stick, you want to remember you're going to stick it into your plant. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that you only put whatever color you're using at the top of your stick, or the part that's going to stick out. So because you do not want, no matter what the product, whether it's ink or the wax colors or the watercolors, you really don't want to put that in your plant. So if you just stop part way down, decorate just the top, and then when you stick it in your plant, then it's not, you're not going to get whatever that product is into the soil of your plant. And if you have really hard dirt and it's not going to just slide in like this, these are so easy to cut. You can just take your scissors and kind of hold it tight because it does split a little bit up this way. So just kind of hold it tight so that it doesn't split really badly. And there you go, you have a point. Excuse me. You can stick it right down in your plant and mark it with what that is if you're doing little starter plants, or if you have like herbs and stuff in the house, and then you can make them look really pretty instead of just something that's just plain. So, but those are the ways that I've colored up the ones that I have. And you know, so you can use any product. And the nice thing is, the lighter the product, now you can use your acrylic paints, but your acrylic paints will really cover it. And I liked these options because with all of them, they give you some of the wood grain look, and you can really see that, and that's what I really love to see. So, and then just a few that I've actually done up. This one was just in ink pad. And then go through and look at all of the little different bits that we've made, you know, all of our handmade beads, our puzzle pieces, you know, all the little extra bits that we have, our clay pieces, our little glass pieces, and that type of thing. And just go through and see if there's anything there that you would like to put on the end of your bookmark to, you know, stick out the top of your journal. So this one has a little clock on it. And I'm working on a vintage journal, and I thought that that would really look cute in that journal. And so I just put a little bit of lace in this clock. Now I really could have frillied it up and put, you know, like a lace flower behind it or something like that. But that's not quite my style, so I liked it just like this. And then I have one here. This is one that I did for Sage. And again, I put this here so that I wouldn't forget to tell you, don't color the bottoms of your stick. And doesn't that background really look cool? So the other things that you can do to decorate them up is, now I just wrote Sage on there with a regular ballpoint pen. Just make sure it works before I start. And then what I did was I made myself a little mask. To cover that up with just a piece of paper. And then put this on a block now. I didn't have my block out earlier when I was doing my testing, and I was having a problem with all of my stamping. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to rip off a little piece of paper here. Let's see, I've got some dictionary pages here. I'm just going to kind of round the top. I want it to be about this long, and I definitely want it skinnier than this because I only want to cover up the word. I don't want to cover up too much more than that. I think I just stuck my hand in my StazOn. Oh, no, I didn't, thank goodness. Okay, so I want to take off just a little bit more off the edges because it's a little too wide. There, I'm going to say that that's good. I'm going to just set that right on top of my word. And then this is one of the stamps that we got from Hampton Art. And it's a tree and a sun, a rainbow and everything. And then some hills down here. I just stamped across these hills at the bottom because it was a really nice design. And then just take that, and I'm going to line it up with my line here so that I don't put the ink down below that, and just press it on there. And there we go. My paper stuck to my stamp there. And there we go. Now that's got a really cool stamp on it. And now I can stick that in my herb garden, and now I'll know what's in there. So those are things that you can do with that. You can also, here's one that I just stamped on, and I just stuck a puzzle piece. I thought this would be good for like a little girl's journal or a little boy's journal. You know, it's very neutral in colors, but I took one of our puzzle piece turtles that we made, stamped on here, and used that same stamp that we just used on here, right here, because I just really liked the way that that looked. And so you can do them very plain. Here is one that I made that has buttons on it, and I just put glue dots down my stick, and then I put all the glue dots on first, then I pressed all of the buttons on all at the same time, so that the glue would come up through the holes, and then I just sprinkle glitter on each one of the buttons. I let it sit for a little bit and then knocked it off. And now there's still places where I need to like clean out between the holes, but they're not completely dry. So I'll let them completely dry before I actually brush them off and, you know, make sure that I get the glitter out from between the holes and everything. But just as simple as just putting some buttons on it, that would look really cute in a sewing journal. So, and then here's one that I haven't finished yet. This one is the gold wax paste, but I thought that would look really cute with my little button that I made with the polymer clay. And I thought it would look cute with like a lace flower behind it, like just little lace petals all the way around. And so that's what I think I'm going to do with this one. I didn't get a chance to do it this morning, but that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do a lace flower behind that one because I thought that would look really cute, and that would look cute in a flower journal. And then here's one that I decoupaged. You can decoupage them. I went through my dictionary and I actually chose the words that I wanted to decoupage on here. So it says prayer and hope and spiritual, praise and faith. On the back it says hopeful and pray and faithful, live. And so this one I actually made to go with a spiritual journal that I'm working on, a faith journal. And this is almost done. I just need to do the closure and do the book plate on the front, and this will be done. But I thought that it would look just really cute to have this where I could just put it in there and just have it stick out the top. And, you know, you can find a pocket to put it in. You can specifically make a pocket for it. So I can put it right in that pocket there, and then it would stay on this side because I have a little frilly right there. Or I could put it over wherever I want to put it. I could even put it sticking out the side. But I thought that that was really cute, and I made it in the colors of my journal so that it would go. And I'll show you this journal when I get it done. It's getting there. I've been working on it forever. But so, and then you can even do up like a boho one. This was the one that I did with our metallic markers, and I did do 2 coats, so you can see there is much more of a shine on it that after I did the second coat. And you know, I just thought, well, I tore up some of the scrunch ribbon that we made. And I thought that, and I have some of the these are some strings from our burlap. And so I thought that I would just like put those together and put them through. And I think I want to put them through and tie them at the top. Let me see. And I drilled the hole with the Dremel, with our Dremel. Let me just get my pokey tool. And I think I'm going to poke them all the way through, and then, and actually probably would be easier to do it one at a time. And then I'm going to just tie them at the top. Usually I like pull it through in halves, and then I, you know, like loop it through. But I think with this one I would prefer to have it tied at the top. So I'm just going to put the pieces through there. And one more. This is why I decorated most of them before I came on here, because I'm very slow at the decorating part, and it takes me a while to even look at what I have to decide what it is that I want to put on here. So, you know, if you think, oh my gosh, this just takes me forever, you know, if you watch crafters that get stuff done in a very short period of time, like there are times where I show you how to do something start to finish in a half an hour or an hour, whatever. But the whole thing, first off, with me, I've always tried them first. And then secondly, everything's planned out. Not only did I just pull out stuff I could use, I've literally planned it out, went through all of my stash, pulled out things I thought I could use, held them up there to see what I thought they looked like. So, you know, if it takes you a long time, it can take me just to make a tag. It can take me a half an hour, 45 minutes just to make a tag. So, you know, so take your time, enjoy the whole process of it. But isn't that cute? Kind of looks like funky hair on top. And then I thought, well, what about we could just glue some of this right down here. Some of the little blingy stuff that we have. And it's a little bit too long, so I'll take a little off the end. I'm just going to line that up right there. Maybe take off even one more. And just throw a little bit of glue on the back. Then maybe I thought some sequins. I thought this one could be very boho and would look cute in a boho journal. Now, you know, these, when you make them thick like this, they normally will fit in a journal pocket or even at the top of your journal page very nicely. They're not really going to fit if you're reading a book and you've done a lot of this, like the buttons or that type of thing, anything that's going to be down inside the book. You know, they're not going to fit that well. But with your journals, because the journals are so fat, you know, and there's a lot of space in there because you've put envelopes and tags, and so that gives you gaps between your pages. And so these fit really nicely in a journal. Because at first I was thinking, well, you know, you can't put anything on the stick itself because then it's not going to fit in a book. But journals are made to be chunky. So, and then you could even just like take some sequins and just put some sequins. Now these I pulled out, but I didn't see if I didn't try them. Usually I'll try everything before I even come on here, but let's see what we think they look like. Maybe just put them on there like that. And maybe just do one more so that it's an odd number. Maybe not do the whole thing. Just do 5 of them. Just like that. And then that would be cute. And very sparkly and bohemian with all of the colors on there. So I think that that's really all of them that I have made. But I think that they really they turn out cute, and you can do absolutely anything with them. You can make them match any project that you are working on. You know, very vintage, shabby chic, boho, sewing. I mean, just use them for your little container gardens. And color them up with, try all of the different products you have. See which ones you like the best. So I just really like the way that these turn out. And I enjoyed making them. They're a nice, easy, cheap project to work on. And, you know, it's really something that with one bag of these sticks, well, how many were there in here? 60 craft sticks in that batch. So, I mean, you can make a whole lot of these in a whole lot of different styles. You have one you don't like, you don't even have to worry about it. There's 60 of them in there. So what we're going to need for next week, hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry. I had it out and then I moved it. Okay, for next week we are going to pick up a coloring book, one of the adult coloring books with some nice patterns in it, and a couple of packages of napkins. So I got all of this at the dollar store, so I spent $3. So $3 for next week. And these I thought were really pretty. This one says keep life simple, and this one says enjoy simple pleasures. So again, we want a patterned color book, and if your lines are darker and deeper, that works really well. And this pattern right here is a little bit busy for our project, so you're going to want something that, you know, this one has the white behind it, something that that's not quite so busy. But these still are going to work, and this is what we'll use because it's what I got for this, but just a little hint, you know, maybe get one that's busy and one that's not busy, and then one book. So for next week, we'll need $3, a couple of packages of napkins, and a color book with the patterns in it, all from the Dollar Tree. So I hope that you enjoyed this project. I've really been having fun with these, and thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you stopping by, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.